Welcome to another episode of the Butler Did It. I'm your host, Adam Butler, back with another episode. Thank you so kindly for being here. Before we get started, I got a quick announcement. New episode of What Are Those, my sneaker podcast with Fox Sports and the Up On Game Network is live right now. You just need to go to the iHeartRadio app, and it's also on Apple and all that as well, and search for Up On Game Presents on all podcasting platforms, and it's there. You can also go to my page and just click the link on my page. Of course, I'm, promoting the thing. It's there. Go check it out. I'm really proud of this last episode, man. It's really, really cool. I talked about the pop culture moments that sort of shaped my love for sneaker culture. I think it's a cool episode, so go check it out. So Father's Day is right around the corner. It's this week. It's on Juneteenth this week, which is actually pretty interesting. And anyone that knows me knows that I am new to this fatherhood thing. I am a stepfather. Shouts out to Makai. And it's an interesting dynamic. It's an interesting just new element to my life. And I'm going to talk about fatherhood a little bit, and I want to talk about the idea of black men being sensitive. I'm going to talk about this. I've heard that thrown around a bit over the past couple of weeks, really, but especially with the Lori Harvey and the Michael B. Jordan thing and the reaction to that. A lot of people just sort of talking about black men being sensitive and whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm going to break it down today. In fact, it might be one of those episodes, and I hate when podcasters say this. I really hate, not just podcasters, I hate when YouTubers, whoever, any creative says this. I feel like I'm going to shake it up today. People going to be mad at what I got to say today. I hope you're not going to be mad at what I got to say. I just want to share my thoughts on the idea of black men being sensitive. Because, yeah, we be sensitive. And so what? Let's talk about it right after this. So yesterday I was watching the game, and Jay-Z and Blue Ivy pop up. Shouts out to Blue Ivy. That girl is grown up. Doesn't that make you feel old? Doesn't that make you feel real old? Remember when Blue Ivy was born? Remember when Jay-Z and Beyonce were pretending like they weren't married? Anyway, I'm going down the rabbit hole. Sorry. I was watching Jay-Z at the game on the sidelines with Blue Ivy looking like, a little lady. Cool as cool can be with the leather jacket and the curls blown out and just looking cool with the panda dunks on. Looking cooler than her dad, honestly, which is hard to do because Jay-Z's probably the coolest Bama ever to exist, right? And it's just, I'm just tripping off of it like everyone else. And, the announcer goes, Jay-Z's in the building, and he goes to hug on his daughter, and, she does what teenage girls do, however old she is. I'm assuming she's at least close to a teenager at this point. She goes, Dad, my hair, because he's mashing the hair, kisses her on the cheek and keep it moving. Of course, this gets online, and I hate to judge things by Twitter and social media because it's toxic. We need it. It's a great tool when it's great. When it's bad, it's ugly. Trust me, it just is what it is. But anyway, people are on there, and it seemed like they took joy in the fact that Blue Ivy, like in their mind, rejected her dad. Because she pushed him off of him. People were even, were replacing her words, misinterpreting her words, like, get off me, dad, and all that, when you could clearly read her lips and she's saying my hair because he's just like messing her hair up. She's a girl. He's doing what dads do. Dads are clumsy like that, especially with little girls. And I thought that was interesting. I was like, oh, yeah, Blue Ivy ain't having none of it today. Get off of him. Get off of her. And this is like, and it's just like all this compliments for Beyonce, but she's there with her dad. And again, I want to be careful with this episode because, of course, I love Beyonce and I love the fact that she has an amazing black mom and an amazing black dad. And that's really my point. Here's this vulnerable moment on television with a man who for years represented the opposite of that. If I'm being honest with you, Jay-Z, throughout my youth and my young adulthood, Jay-Z just represented super cool dude who was ice cold, had minimal feelings, really. He just was cool. I sold drugs. I'm a dope rapper. I'm a CEO. I'm better than you in every way. Here he is being a mushy gushy dad. And People are rejecting that. Why am I talking about this today? Because over the past couple of weeks, I've seen the word sensitive being associated with black men as an insult. And it makes me think about the idea of toxic masculinity, the idea of the conversation around masculinity in the black community and how it is something that needs to be had. But it makes me wonder whether we're ready to have it at all. Let me ask you all a question. Answer it in your car, on your jog, wherever you are, listening to this show or watching this show. And man, I appreciate you. Why is it an insult to call a black man sensitive? You ever been in an argument with a girl and she go, you acting sensitive? You get all upset about it. I'm talking to men. I'm not talking to black women right now. I want to make something very, very clear. I'm not blaming black women for this at all. I'm talking to black men. You ever been called sensitive and got all upset about it? I ain't sensitive, but I have. You ever started crying about something? Anything. You can be happy. You can be sad, whatever. And feel embarrassed about it, wondering why people are looking at you like that. When you were a little kid and you started crying, did people tell you to stop? Toughen up? I've definitely heard it, and I've definitely said it. Why is the word sensitive when it comes to black men an insult? And why do we take it personal? If you do, why? Why? Maybe it's because, and I'm going to use that term society tells us, but maybe it's because society tells us that being weak is associated with being sensitive. And if you are a man and you are weak, you are unworthy. And let's take it a step further. Maybe it's because a weak man, aka a sensitive man, is in a position to lose everything. When you at your job, the strong man gets the promotion. The strong man gets the job. Well, why didn't you get your job? Because you weren't assertive enough. You didn't try hard enough, bro. Well, why didn't you make the football team? Because you weren't assertive enough. You didn't try hard enough. You got to toughen up, Slim. You got to go out there and just take it. What happened between you and your girl? Well, you weren't aggressive enough. You weren't assertive enough. You didn't let her know. Would you? Where does this come from? And maybe I'm tripping. I had a conversation a few years back about sensitive men, right? And, you know, men that are insecure, which aren't great. This is not a great trait, being insecure, but men that are insecure, men that overreact to certain things, right? There's a rapper recently that got killed. I believe his name was Trouble. I have to be honest with you. I wasn't familiar with this gentleman. Rest in peace to him, though, because the story sounds tragic. It sounds like that he was dating a woman, and the ex-boyfriend or husband, I'm assuming his ex-boyfriend, killed this man over her. I've heard stories like this 1,000 times. I've heard stories about men that are stalking women. I've heard stories about men that won't let it go. I've heard stories about men that you want to fight the new dude, this and another, or even worse, they want to attack the woman for moving on, threaten her, make her feel uncomfortable. I've dated women in these situations before. It's never cool. Some people are just crazy. I don't want to get into psychoanalyzing why a crazy person does a crazy thing or why a bad person does a bad thing. So I'm not talking about the stalker. I'm talking about the person who is having a hard time after a breakup, right? That could potentially get to the trouble thing, because it makes me think about that. And I was having this conversation with someone about just men like that, men that, can't move on, and, how sometimes a woman has to, basically cuss a man out to help him move on. And I was thinking about our pop culture and our music, specifically our music that we've listened to for about the past 20 years. Let me ask you something. You think about any male R&B singer or rapper, right? Whenever they are rapping about romance or women, what are they usually saying? I'm not talking about back with the OJs and all that. I ain't talking about Drew Hill and Jodeci and them. Let's go from 2000 to now. What are they usually singing about? Taking your girl. You don't believe me? Okay, well, let's talk to a couple of R&B singers. What do you think, Trey Songz?
Kane is in the building.
It's Mr. Steal Your Girl. It's Mr. Steal Your Girl.
What about you, Chris Brown?
When a rich nigga want you, and your nigga can't do nothing for you. Oh, these hoes ain't loyal.
I don't know. What about Mr. Nice Guy Drake?
Why you over there looking at me? Why your man standing right beside you? The temporary happiness he might provide you, but you know and I know that nobody gonna do you like me.
And these aren't even new songs, right? I'm not even talking about anything that's out currently. I'm talking about the music that, if you're my age, I'm 40 years old, what you grew up through your teenage, if you're between 30 and 40 years old, your teenage years, your young 20s, in your 30s, here's what you listen to. Here's what shaped your mind on what to expect from a relationship. Isn't it possible that would shape what you think women feel, or how you think women feel? Even if that's not true. Again, I'm not here to speak for women. I can't speak for women. In fact, this is a conversation for men. I can't. No blame to the women. These are men singing these songs, by the way. That's just music, and music is so important to how we think. Think about it. It's on. You're in the elevator and just music is on. You're in the car just listening to this. You're on your jog just listening to this. You're in the club just listening to this. You're at the cookout just listening to this. Bop it to it. I'm Mr. Still Your Girl. These hoes is for everybody. I can take your girl. I'm going to make a big assumption right now. I'm going to do something that I actually usually disagree with. And that's grouping a large group. Speaking on black men as a monolith right now. I'm going to go ahead and do that. In my opinion, black men are some of the most fearful individuals on planet Earth. Every day we have to worry about what someone thinks about us, and whether or not someone thinks we soft, weak, whatever. It has dire consequences. Severe consequences. And I'm not even talking about members of the LGBTQ community, right? I'm talking about just guys like me. Crack a joke that's considered gay. Do something that's suspect. Say something that's suspect. Get knocked off that pedestal at all. Look weak to anyone. You got to answer for that. And then you must prove to your circle that you solid, that you 10 toes down, all of those slogans we like to say. So Father's Day is coming up, and a bunch of dads are going to be celebrated. But all of us are still trying to navigate how to raise these young men. So they don't think like that. So no, that's my number one goal. I don't want my boy to have the same restraints on him as a human. Just as a human being. Think about what it's like to have to monitor half your feelings to make everyone else feel comfortable. Don't get too angry. Don't be too sad. You too angry, you scary. You too sad, you's a sucker. Am I lying? Okay, let's talk about Michael B. Jordan. I don't keep up with this crap normally, okay? Let me just tell you this. Lori Harvey has every right to get with or break up with anyone she wants to. She is a young woman living her life. She has no obligation to anyone that has not put a ring on her finger, or she has not decided to accept the ring from. Lori Harvey is a beautiful woman who I'm assuming is a smart person. I don't know her, but nothing leads me to believe that she isn't a smart and respectful person. So she has the right to date anyone she wants, live her life however she wants, as long as she is not hurting people or committing crimes. I have no judgment for Lori Harvey, and I have no judgment over the fact that she did not want to be with Michael B. Jordan anymore. Apparently, he asked her to marry her. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. But even if this isn't true, this is the rumors I heard, that he asked her to marry her. She wasn't ready. They broke up. They're both heartbroken. And now I'm seeing a clip of Michael B. Jordan everything happened at the damn Golden State Warrior game. At the Golden State Warrior game, and people just making fun of him for looking sad. Look at him. He tried to marry a black woman that he was in love with. Dumb sucker. You lame. He crying at the game. Look at him. You lame. He dumb. Oh, he's soft. Look at him crying. New crime meme. Speaking of crime memes, just as a sidebar, did you know that when Michael Jordan was at Michael Jordan, the basketball player Michael Jordan, was at Kobe Bryant's funeral, boohoo crying, as he should, because that was a young man that he loved? He had to stop in the middle of his cry and say, oh man, I'm probably going to end up being a new crime meme. It's probably going to be the new crime meme. Do you know that the crying meme from Michael Jordan comes from his Hall of Fame induction? He's crying because he's happy and thinking about his accomplishments. Do you know that we took the meme of Michael Jordan crying because he's looking back at his great career, a career and includes him being considered the greatest athlete of all time, a career that in the middle of it, his father died, killed. We took that, him crying, and turned it into a symbol for weakness. Black men be sensitive. Anyway, we're making fun of Michael B. Jordan because he got dumped by someone he loved. Again, she could do whatever she wants. I respect it and I support it. Actually, it's better that they don't get married if she's not ready to do it. Actually, it's a mature decision, I think, on her part to not lead that man on like that. If she don't want to marry him, don't marry him. I respect it, and I think she's super dope for doing that. Go live your life, girl. But to the people making fun of him, you're making fun of him. You're making fun of him. Black men reacted to it. Yeah, some was saying stupid shit, talking about her, this, that, and another. But I'm going to tell you why. Why do people say dumb things sometimes? Why do people take it too far? Because they don't know how to express themselves. They don't have the words, so they say stupid shit. That's why. I'm going to make another big assumption. A lot of black men can relate to Michael B. Jordan. A lot of black men put themselves out there, probably in private, for someone. Either they got married and got hurt in a divorce, or they were trying to get with somebody and couldn't get with her. They expressed themselves to someone somehow, whether romantically or not, and felt rejection. And because we don't teach young men how to deal with rejection, because you should never have to deal with rejection and you should never submit to rejection because you need to be strong, we don't know how to react to it. Because you can't be sensitive. Being sensitive means you's a sucker. It means that you ain't trustworthy. I can't be around no sensitive niggas, man. So we don't even prepare our young men to deal with the range of emotions that every human being experiences. You hurt yourself, you fall down, you hurt yourself. It hurts. It's scary. You're crying. Go ahead, man, with all that crying. Something happens to you in school. You're sad about it. You're crying. Let me tell you a story. My son comes home from school one day. He's very sad. We sit him down. We talk to him. He's talking about his friends in school. He's saying that one of the kids, being a kid, nothing wrong with the kid. Kids do strange stuff sometimes. They all emotional. Kid didn't want to talk to him. Who knows what was going on with the young man? He probably just having a bad day. Kid didn't want to talk to him. My boy could not understand, why wouldn't my friend want to talk to me? He's not talking to me. He's not talking to me. I was trying to show him stuff he won't listen to. Comes home. He starts crying. And he says, Mommy, Mr. Adam, that's what he calls me. Kid won't talk to me. And it made me sad. And he starts crying. And I promise you, my first instinct was to go ahead, man. Hey, man, he don't want to play with you, man. It just is what it is, bro. Don't worry about it. But I thought about it. How would that feel? How would that feel as a grown man if I just called one of my best friends and he just didn't want to deal with me? I probably wouldn't cry about it, but I'd be hurt. Wouldn't you? If your friend just decided, you're not somebody I want to deal with today. What if you have something going on that you wanted to share with your friend and your friend's just like, you'd be hurt. Your feelings would be hurt. Some people listening to this show or watching this show will actually have a beef over that. This is an 8-year-old who doesn't understand their emotions at all, trying to make sense of things. So I decided, and we decided to try the different route. Let's try something different. Let's ensure him that it'll be okay. Help him understand that, hey, your friend doesn't hate you. He probably just was having a bad day. Let's try again tomorrow. And we comforted him. Made me so proud of my wife. I'm so proud of myself. Because that's the path that's going to lead him on being an emotionally mature human. It's no surprise that a lot of men in my community are not emotionally mature. And that's not a disrespect. I'm not throwing shots at my fellow black men. How could you be emotionally mature if you don't even recognize half of your emotions? You don't know what to do when you're sad, when you lose, when someone hurts you, when someone disrespects you. You don't know how to react. Especially when you're trying to prove to the world that you're the right type of man. And again, it's not just for romance. It's just in life. You're trying to prove that you A1, that you legit. I ain't no sucker. It ain't just about crying. What do you do when you're extremely happy? Man, I smoke some, drink some, bro. Hey, man, I'm just, you know what I mean? I ain't trying to size it or nothing, man. I'm just, you know what I mean? I feel good, though. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to size it, though. I ain't trying to hype it up. I just feel good, bruh. Yeah, you happy. It's okay. Michael Jordan was happy at his announcement, at his Hall of Fame enshrinement. So he started crying. Kobe Bryant passed away. Michael Jordan was sad. So he started crying. instead of just embracing that and living in that, he had to worry about whether the world was going to make fun of him again. Michael B. Jordan, the actor, is sad. Someone he was in a public relationship with, that he loved, that he wanted to do right by, in his opinion. Again, it wasn't right for her. So she moved on. But in his opinion, he wanted to do right by. Decided, you know what, man? Maybe it'll make me feel better to go to a basketball game. And instead, what he got was a bunch of men and women laughing at him. And then a bunch of men who probably were encouraged by Michael B. Seeing a beautiful black couple on television, young black couple, thinking maybe, wow, maybe that's something I can do too. Reacted poorly to it because they don't know how to. And what were they called? Sensitive. Sensitive is not an insult. My best friend said to me some years ago, bro, if you sensitive, just be that. So what? Sensitive is not an insult. Black men do be sensitive. Yeah. Black men should be sensitive. Yeah. And not just sensitive in the romantic sense. It doesn't just mean, oh, you know how to treat a woman. No, it means that you understand your feelings. And you know how to speak on your feelings. You know how to address your feelings. I understand that I'm not feeling good today. I'm not good. My mental state is not right. Don't I end this show every week, just like I end What Are Those every week, by saying mind your mentals? Right? Marshawn Lynch said that. That's a man we should follow. Marshawn Lynch understands. I'm not good today. I don't want to talk to the press today. I'm not in a good mood. I'm just here so I don't get fined. I don't want to speak to you guys. Everybody made fun of him. What's wrong with him? No, it's the most mature thing he could do. He's contractually obligated to show up and do that, but he's telling you straight up, man, I'm not going to pretend. I'm just not in the mood to talk today. You all are making me talk, but I can't. I'm not good for whatever reason. He ain't out here punching people, committing crimes, tearing shit up. He's just doing him, being mature and letting you know, hey, listen, this ain't a good situation for me. Women do it all the time. I always say on this show that black women are ahead of us in the mental health space, probably because women were encouraged to embrace their feelings. Even if we didn't realize that's what we were encouraging women to do. You let a girl cry. You let her, when your daughter's hurt, when your daughter's sick, oh, baby, it's okay, man. Daddy gonna take, oh, baby. Oh, princess. We've been training women to at least talk about their stuff forever. Not just men, people, society of all races, really. I understand that there are certain huge trials and tribulations for women. Again, I'm not addressing that. I'm just speaking on the fact that black men are behind because we see sensitive as an insult. So again, I ask you, how'd you react the last time someone called you sensitive? There's no one person to be blamed for this. I'm not even blaming the singers and rappers that I featured earlier. Again, we just think how we think. Some of us get it. Jay-Z, some of us get it later in life. Jay-Z, again, sensitive thugs, they all need hugs. Now he's hugging his daughter at a basketball game, kissing her and getting embarrassed like every other dad in America. Shouldn't have to wait till we 50-something years old to figure these things out, man. Let's start teaching these kids this now. So that's why Father's Day is important. That's why. That's why when we talk about black fatherhood, right? Remember when Kobe passed away and we talking about girl dads and how beautiful that was? All these men, and a lot of black men with their daughters. And it was the ultimate sign of sensitivity. Be that as a boy dad as well. Love on your sons, man. And if you don't have a son, love on your nephew. Love on little homie. And what I mean by that, and again, here I am, participating in the toxic masculinity, but let me explain what I'm saying when I say love on the kids on your block. Obviously, I don't mean it in a stupid way. I'm talking about giving them the respect, treating them like what they are, their children. Kind words, wise words, giving them the space to operate as a full human being around you, helping them feel safe. So if you don't have no kids or nothing, you can at least do that. And I ain't talking about only for the little kids neither. The 16-year-old needed to. The 17-year-old needed to. The 15-year-old needed to. When they come around, don't treat them like they little criminals. I'm telling you this how it is because I was a black boy myself. When people see black boys, they age them up by 5 years. Those are facts. It ain't just white people, but they're kids. And if we want to have a generation of men who are more emotionally mature than the prior generation, then we have to feed them with love and respect. And for you grown men out there, being sensitive isn't an insult. Being hurt isn't an insult. Being happy is nothing to be ashamed of. Being hurt is nothing to be ashamed of. Being sad is nothing to be ashamed of. Feeling blue is nothing to be ashamed of. Feeling depressed is nothing to be ashamed of. Having anxiety is nothing to be ashamed of. It's part of being human. And being human is beautiful. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of The Butler Did It. I really, really appreciate it, man. To all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. Enjoy your day this weekend, man. Enjoy yourself. Get a cookout on. Watch the game. We hoping there's going to be a Game 7 for Father's Day. It's not looking good, but maybe there'll be a Father's Day Game 7. If so, whatever you do, enjoy yourself and be thankful for the gift of fatherhood. I certainly am. It's the best thing that ever could have happened to me, all right? Remember to follow me on social media, MSR_Adam. MSR_Adam. Hit me up, man. The Butler Did It is back. We are here, and more episodes will be following this one. Okay. Listen, as I said before, mind your mental health. Always mind your mental health. Okay. Mind your physical health. All right. Do that. Stay on top of that, especially you black men out there. Okay. I told you last week I lost a couple of high school friends. They got 40 years to do it. Okay? They had 40 years to get it done. I'm hoping you get way more. But our time is short. So while we're here, let's take care of ourselves in every way. And also while you're here, let's always continue to be great. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm up out of here till next week. Peace.